Speaking of bigots, Dave Chappelle ignited a new controversy over the weekend. John Mulaney slammed for having Chappelle open and transphobic jokes. John Mulaney is usually beloved by all, but right now, he's getting slammed big time, all because he let Dave Chappelle open for him, and the guy told anti-trans jokes. Here's the deal. John had a comedy show Friday night in Columbus, Ohio, where phones were locked up in a pouch so no one could record. Remember, these are, free speech advocates. Like Dave Chappelle. I understand comedy is their product and everything, yada, yada, yada. And according to folks who flocked to social media afterward, DC was a surprise guest who did a set before John came out. A lot of these people say they felt ambushed by Dave's presence, especially since he allegedly went on to tell what they characterized as transphobic, homophobic jokes. The argument is that these paying customers came out to see John Mulaney, not Dave, and many of them are either part of the LGBT crowd or consider themselves allies, going on to say they never would have purchased tickets if they'd known Chappelle was going to show up. Of course, this all dates back to the controversy over his Netflix special, The Closer, which some have said is transphobic, despite DC denying that. DC being Dave Chappelle, and the streamer sticking by him. As for what is exactly was said that was transphobic in these users' minds, you'd be hard-pressed to find anyone who actually detailed the cracks, but someone finally did. The supposedly harmful joke was about the stage crasher and the gun knife he had on him. Apparently this dude called Reggie Dill Pickle, which automatically makes me not trust him, that he made one transphobic joke, and the joke was a one line after one line of setup, and it went as followed. I mean, it wasn't a gun, it was a knife, a gun that identifies as a knife. He then paused, smiled a bit, and moved on quickly. A homophobic joke was him saying, maybe you two are gay, I don't know, nothing wrong with that if that's the case. Why? Why even point that out? None of that was funny. And the greatest comedian of all time had this to say about assholes like Dave Chappelle.
I would defend to the death his right to do everything he does. The thing that I find unusual, and it's not a criticism so much, but his targets are underdogs. And comedy traditionally has picked on people in power, people who abuse their power. Women and gays and immigrants are kind of, to my way of thinking, underdogs. And, he ought to be careful because he's Jewish. And a lot of the people who want to pick on these kind of groups, the Jews are on that list a little further. You got women, gays, gypsies, blah, 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 and then suddenly you find Jews. And Andrew,
suddenly Andrew's arrested.
Yeah, so, I mean, obviously he should do what he wants. And
why does he get away with it, do you think, then? Well, we have never laughed at jokes about the
Well,
poor.
he's appealing. I think he's appealing largely. I think his core audience are young white males who are threatened by these groups. I think a lot of these guys aren't sure of their manhood because that's a problem when you're going through adolescence. Am I really? Could I be? I hope I'm not one of them. And the women who assert themselves and are competent are a threat to these men, and so are immigrants in terms of jobs and the
so that's why we as an audience then will laugh.
You say we. I don't think you're.
No.
But I think you're
collective we.
I think that's.
You may laugh. I didn't find it funny.
Experience that takes place in these arenas. There's a certain, a sharing of anger and rage at these targets, and I'm sure Andrew isn't that angry at them. I'm sure he's playing it as a comic.
He was talking about Andrew Dice Clay there, but man, you could replace Andrew with Dave now, couldn't you? Let's do something now that the right wing has no idea how to do, what to do. Taking care of kids. Mandy, welcome. Gotta take care of these kids. That's the way my cats are every morning. How fucking cute. Fucking adorable. We went from the goat to a bunch of goats. That was awesome. I don't know. I forgot what I was going to say. I was going to make mention of the George Carlin documentary on HBO that came out. I believe it was Friday night. Maybe part 1 was Thursday, part 2 was Friday. I watched it last night. Watched the whole goddamn thing. 4 hours. Fabulous. Fabulous. But, like, the last montage was video, photos of shit that's happened in the last 10, 15 years since he's died. And it's juxtaposed to his fucking comedy. It's him doing bits over videos and photos of exactly what he's talking about. Exactly what he was talking about happening.